Alright, No Good Gamer here. Welcome back to Stone Block 4 Episode 2. Today we're going to go ahead and finish off the Quartermaster's quests, and also we're probably going to finish off the Create quests. I did do a little bit of off-screen work, nothing too crazy. I got rid of all my storages and sorted everything out that really needed to be sorted. And then my next thing I did was a very simple setup to start getting some villager trading in. Got in a mason so that I can start getting block of quartz, since I don't have any other way at the moment to get quartz. And I needed quartz so I can get this little guy set up right here, which is automatically using the coal from here to push into here, and then it pulls all those chunks that it's automatically combining in here and sticks them into smelt. This goes into here, which gets pushed back into here, and then pushed into this, which goes into the system. Just a basic little loop. I also found some cows. There were like 4 that spawned in here. I keep getting cats all over the place, and apparently one of these times I got a couple cows, so I have been starting to breed them. Well, enough random explanation, let's go ahead and get right into it. So to start off with, you're going to get some fire clay, which mixes up sand and clay. Put this together. I'm going to get a few stacks of this. Then we put this in our smelters to smelt into the fire bricks. Fire bricks we're going to need to make the walls for our foundry. Looks like the compressing upgrade here is automatically making some. I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll take this and make it push. Yeah, there we go. So now it should go into here. Yep. So with the bricks coming in here, now they won't auto compress, because I do want those brick walls, but I need these for this. Got to get us a casting table, a casting basin. Along with that, to get the foundry to work, we need our foundry controller. It uses a blast furnace. Luckily we found one of those and stole it earlier. Black foundry drains are needed so you can get stuff out of here. I'm going to get a couple of these. You want 2 typically minimum, so you can do both of those tables. To get this to work, you're going to need at least 9 heating coils. They take these buckets, some copper, and some of those fire bricks. Now, to put this together, you're going to want these fire coils in a 3x3 on the ground. Right now I'm just clearing out the area. Now with these last 3 spots here, you stick in my last 3 heating coils. And these are the liquid heating coils, which means I'm going to be using lava to heat this. Close up that hole because I don't need that one yet. Now we're going to get our controller, stick that right here in the corner. And I'll just stick the tank right above that. It just needs to be part of the multi-block. Stuck our drains down right here. And then I made some of this fire brick glass too, or foundry windows, whatever they're called, because I like to be able to look inside and see the fluid once it gets built. It's a nice aesthetic. But we're going to go back to using the foundry bricks for the rest of this. I will probably make this a bit taller later, because this will not be able to use too much at once. All I have to do is make it taller and it'll be able to hold a lot more. So right now we're going to go ahead and close this up, and we should get a nice little effect. It's not turning on. I mean, it's working. Oh, there it is. Now that that's all lit up, that shows that it's working. The multi-block is up and going. Now we're going to go ahead and finish this off by coming back. And we're going to set up our chest. I got one of these crystal chests that dropped from a loot bee. They're very large chests, especially for a single block, and they're kind of neat because you can like look through them and see what's in them. They just kind of float around inside. But we're going to go ahead and put our casting table right here. I'll go ahead and dig it down a little bit lower because I need to be underneath here so I can get these pipes to work. Put our base in there. Go ahead and pop these so that now that these are both pulling out. Fill this back in. Take our manipulator. Or we'll go ahead and stick on one of these real quick. I'm going to use a manipulator to go ahead and make 4 lava, because it only takes 4 lava to fill up the 1 tank. And that'll last us a little bit, enough to get what we need done. We could always fill this in later. For now, I'll go ahead and fill this hole back in with some cobble, use the manipulator to make it look like a, you know what, yeah, we're going to pretend that never happened. And now that we got all this filled in, we can go ahead and get our metals and start getting our plates going. Turns out I needed some string to make the engineer's hammer, so I ended up having to get a hold of some industrial hemp. Industrial hemp is really neat because you can farm it like this, do the crouch grow technique, and repeatedly do it. You just use 3 of these and it makes 1 string. You can just grow your own string if you're not getting it from somewhere else. And it's fairly quick. I did that with 1 tile. Now that we have our 1 string, go ahead and make our engineer's hammer, and we're only going to need to use this once for this. This is the first and only time I'm going to be using 3 ingots for 1 plate. For this, we need these 4 steel. Slap those in there. While that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and get that 1 plate that we made. Put that on the casting table. And steel is the only metal you can use to cast in this. It takes 4 for any casting mold, so you can do nuggets, ingots, plates, sticks, jewels. There's a bunch of different ones. But for our purposes, we're just going to be doing this. And with that, we can now go ahead and grab our redstone block. You can do this with a lever as well. But that'll keep that nozzle on. So now we could just start putting in a whole bunch of iron and copper. And see, this is what I'm talking about with it. It won't hold much. That was less than half a stack. So later I'll probably increase the height on this so I can get at least a full stack in there. Now let's let that cook up and we'll come back later. Now, go back into here. These next 4 things we're going to be working on for the quartermaster. The steel mechanisms need the steel plates. So doing that, I'm going to go ahead and grab some steel, get some plates going. We also need some electrum ingots, which takes these silver and gold mixed. And we have an alloy smelter, so I don't have to use the foundry for this, but you can use the foundry. Turns out I had a few in here, but you know, making some more ain't gonna hurt. We're gonna need a little bit more of this later. Not a whole lot, but a bit. Bring those over here, make some plates out of them. And takes a second to heat up. Alright, here we go. And then you come over to the stone cutter, turn it into wire. You can do the same thing with copper plates to make the copper wire. Alright, so what I'm doing here is using the metallurgic infuser. You can use copper to make the orange alloys. Use osmium with the redstone to make these basic control units. Now that I've completed that one for the 3rd thing, I've completed this part. And then the final thing is to make 64 of these world engine upgrades, which means I need to bring my battery to power the world engine. And then I like to stick my battery right here on this side. But then you gotta go in and make sure that it's going on output. That way this guy gets charged. And then we're just gonna slam all of this in here. There was more than what I needed for both crafts. It's 32. I was supposed to get 64 out of that. Isn't that what I was supposed to go for, huh? Yeah, 64. 2, 2, 4, 2, and I gave you all of that. Oh wait, what did it? Was it making 16 at a time? Did I need to do 4 crafts? Did I misread that? Oh yeah, I did. So I do need to make more stuff. Stick it back in, and then get the last 32. My bad. But yeah, that took like a large chunk of this battery. Now I can get that. And since this completed this part, I can grab that. And then what do I get out of the gift of stone? Ooh, a portal gun. Heck yeah. So this portal gun works basically just like the portal game. Let me go home. I'll show you real quick. So I can right click to put one down and left click to put the other one down. And you go through one, come out the other. And the good thing about this is I can set it up to where, we'll say right here will be my normal come home. So now, from now on, whenever I just want to come home, I can click somewhere on a wall, and then when I walk through it, I pop in here. And the cool part is, if I'm somewhere that I want to go back to, I can come back here, you know, come in, store a bunch of my items that I had with me, and then I just go right back to where I was. This thing is awesome to have. It is powered though, so I will need to charge it occasionally. At least until I get wireless power up and going. Speaking of, I'm going to charge that. Oh no, wrong side. I wasn't trying to charge up the battery with it. I say I want to get that little bit of battery back. I'm going to charge this bad boy up too. Like how it has half the charge hold as the manipulator. But yeah, so now that I'm done with this part, I gotta go talk to the quartermaster again. And to go to him, you have to go to the spawn first before you can teleport to him down here. But now I come down here, talk to him. Shows me done with all that. And now I can come into here, complete this portion, and then submit these. Oop. And we get a cutscene. Oh yeah, because this is like building the walls, basically. Yeah, so now on the inside, those blocks I just made all around. Basically making the frame. That's awesome. And with that, oh yeah, there's no completion on that. Now, I just gotta push this side, which just means I need to get obsidian plates. Which honestly, that's gonna be super easy right now because I have an idea to do that real quick. My favorite liquid holding thing to use is these mechanism tanks. The initial ones, super cheap, and they hold 32 buckets. Neat part about these is normally I can just stick it down, you can use a bucket to transfer into it, and then you can just use a wrench to pick it back up. But if you shift and scroll, you can turn it into bucket mode. And I can fill this all the way with water. Which is 64 buckets, so it's going to take a second. I'm only at 34. I'm not going to go all the way. But I want to get one more of these tanks because I'm just going to make my obsidian. I'm going to go 5, 6, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that should be like 8. Bucket mode on. Come through and pick up all this lava real easy like. And then should be able to just, oh, okay, I can only put one at a time. That's really annoying. So the Oratech fluid pipe, silicone gem from cooking, Certus, or yeah, no, that's a little further ahead than I can get to. And then fluid pipe requires me to, to do what I just did a little bit. Okay, I can actually do that real quick. Oh yeah, is this still set? Nice, it's still set up for the oh, I love when this happens. Things just work out for whatever reason. Alright, Power, I'm sorry. You about starved of power for a moment. Booyah. But now what I can do is I stick that there and there. If I go ahead and disconnect it from the bottom first, and then from each other, I have 16 and then 34, so you know what? I have that backwards. I need way less water than I need lava. Whatever, I can pipe the water back out. But all I'm going to do is do that. It'll pipe it all in and turn into molten obsidian. Now I need to pull these back off so that I can use this stuff. Start doing that. And then I'm gonna do that real quick, because once it does all these obsidian plates, how are you considered on top of that? I think I only need 20 of these. So then I can actually do this. And then, you know what, I will have to break this for now, pull this off, because I want to get, oops, I didn't mean to right click it. I want to move this over, since I completely forgot to make another one. And the rest of this I'm going to just turn into straight up just obsidian blocks, because it'll also use it a lot quicker, because that's 12 blocks worth, but that's 12 times 9, so that'd be like 90, 108 of these plates if I wanted to just wait for all of those, and I only needed so many of them, so. But now I'm just getting straight up obsidian, and I don't have to use a diamond pick to get it or anything. And then since I did get my obsidian plates, completed this portion, which, ooh, perfect. I got some cooked chicken. I know I got out before I grabbed that other chicken that was in there. But I wanted to, oh nice, I got an extra heart again. So now I have 2 extra hearts. Alright, but I also got a lava chicken. And once I get some roosts up and going, he gives lava eggs, which lava eggs you can use directly to just make lava. And that's pretty sweet in my opinion. And I need to go sort this. I have this spot over here. Those are those alloys I was talking about earlier. And now, take these 20 and do what I was talking about. Make these train casings. Booyah. And then get one in my inventory just so I have it. Put those back down. And just like that. Boom! Gift of pebbles. What did I get? What enchantment? Looting 8. Dear, oh, wow. Okay. Definitely holding on to that bad boy. Into the personal chest you go. Along with some other randoms. Alrighty. Alright, and with that, I'm gonna have to probably call that an episode. I wanted to get through the create stuff, but the last portion of that is to actually go through a dungeon. So I think I'll start off the next episode with us kind of diving immediately into that. I'll probably just throw together some diamond armor, nothing too crazy. I've already got the tools and whatnot that I need to go through it, and I can come back if I need to. But we're gonna go ahead and save that for the next time. If you like what you see, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, leave some love, leave some hate, do what you want. Either way, have a good day.